Hey guys, I want to say thanks to everybody who left feedback on the post up on Instagram last week about content for the book. My book will be coming out in October. It has Easton's exclusivity, so they are going to be the ones that are promoting it through the country, and I'll be doing book signings around the different Eastons in the country. So what I'm going to do now is just say thanks to everybody. Is I'm going to do a quick Q&A with just some of the questions. There's a load in there, so I'll try and get through as many as I can. First one, carb cycling or refeeds, how and why are they done? Interestingly, even before this comment was put up, I have a whole section done on carb cycling because it's one of the recommendations that I'm putting into the nutrition section of the book because it's the one I follow. Carb cycling, for anyone that doesn't know, basically means where your carbs taper up and down depending on the different days. So for example, you might have say 50 grams on your low day, 100 grams on your medium day, and 200 grams on your high day, and then you taper it during the week. So you might do, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday low day, Thursday high, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday might be medium, and then Sunday might be high again. The reason for this is when you go too low carb for too long, your metabolism slows down. You need that glucose and glycogen to re-shuttle and put the brightness back into the fire, so to speak. If you think your metabolism, I always use the analogy, your metabolism is like a fire. The faster and the harder the fire burns, the more body fat you're going to burn. But what happens when you go low carb for too long is that fire starts to diminish. So a refeed or a high carb day tends to put the flame back into the fire, okay? It varies person to person, depending on level of body fat, depending on where you're at, how often you'd refeed. Somebody really lean, a guy in the 7 to 8, 9% body fat, or the girl in the 13 to 14% body fat, are going to refeed every 3-4 days maybe. Whereas somebody who's 30-40% body fat might have a refeed every 10 days because they're so insulin resistant, their body doesn't actually utilize its carbs for fuel. If you ever wonder, this is why there's a bit of a domino effect with somebody that's like in the really overweight category. I'm talking 15, 16, 17 stone, but 30-40% body fat. They're so insulin sensitive, which basically means they eat carbs and their body doesn't use the carbs for energy. Carbs have no other job except for giving you energy. The people like this, like if you ever see somebody that's chronically overweight, they're normally like always out of breath, and they're always tired, and they're always a little bit hungry. They're eating carbs and they're not getting any energy. It's because they're insulin resistant. Basically, the glucose isn't being shuttled in to be used for fuel. Their body has put up a force field or a wall against it saying, hold on, no, not using you for energy, and it gets shuttled to fat cells, and then that cycle continues. So generally the first thing I do with somebody that's like very overweight would be cut their carbs back. Try and make them a bit more insulin sensitive so that when they do eat their carbs, they give them energy, as what carbs should do. So again, the refeeds is to make sure that you don't stall on your metabolism, so you keep burning fat all the way through. 2, expectations. What should I expect weekly or monthly? I know nothing happens overnight. Again, it varies person to person. It really depends on the starting point. The person that's 20 stone at 30-40% body fat is going to lose more than the person that's 10 stone at 9% body fat. It just stands to reason. They've got more to lose, so they're going to lose more quickly. I generally aim for around the 2 pound mark every week with somebody in that like overweight obese. Basically what happens if you lose weight too quickly, and you can, like I could lose, somebody that's 20 stone, I could probably drop them 2 stone in 2 weeks if I wanted to, but they wouldn't hold it off. What happens is you've got your homeostatic state. Your body's always in a state of homeostasis, which basically means it's always in the middle. It always wants to be, ticking around the middle. So if you're a homeostatic weight, basically what happens to your metabolism, similar to what happens to your homeostatic state. It's like when you're sick, your body brings you back to being better. When you're feeling really loads of energy and feeling amazing, your body brings it back to being normal. That's your homeostatic state. Your metabolism is the same. If your homeostatic state is reset at 20 stone, what's going to happen is if you go to 22 stone, your body's going to try and get you back to 20 stone again. If you're 20 stone and you go to 18 stone too quickly, it's going to try and get you back to 20 stone because you haven't moved the meter of the metabolic state in line with what you're doing. You did it too quickly. So generally dropping off 2 pounds a week for somebody overweight is maintainable. You can sustainable. You can keep it going over a longer period of time because their homeostatic level, their metabolic state is coming down with you. Okay, so if you ever wondered why People always wonder when they go on holidays or over the Christmas, where they'll put on, a stone or 2 stone or whatever it is, and within the next month they're back to their normal weight. That's because of your metabolic state. Your body's trying to get you back to that, even if it's overweight, and you put on a stone, your body's like, I'm not as hungry, or it gives you more energy so that you try and get back to that state. The same goes in reverse when you're trying to get lean. If you come down too quickly or you drop a stone really quickly, your body's going to trigger ghrelin. It's going to trigger the hunger hormones to make you hungrier. It's going to make you more tired, so you need more food. It's going to try and get you back up to the weight. It's why competitors and fitness models have to fight that when they drop into a really low level of body fat, because their body's constantly trying to climb back up. So you'll start to crave things like fats and sugars and glucose and things like that, because your body's trying to get its weight back up. Again, it's just a basic survival mechanism. It's homeostasis. Your body wants to be in homeostasis at all times, so you have to bring things down slowly. It's why I bring all my contest people in really slowly, so that their homeostatic state changes in line with their body fat dropping. Next question. Plans to counteract going off meal plan, sugar overload at the weekend. Again, I've put a post about this before. Life is about living. It's about having a balance. You need to enjoy your training, enjoy your food, and enjoy, being social and doing all of these things. The key that I have found, and it's going to be in my free ebook, hopefully it'll be actually available for download, possibly by the end of this week, maybe early next week, about the top 10s to build muscle, tone up, and lose body fat at the same time. But I have a whole section in here about, timing your cheats and timing your training. What I would do is, if you go off plan at the weekend, and I normally go off plan at the weekend, you'll normally see a tub of Ben & Jerry's floating around my Facebook or Instagram on a Friday or Saturday. That's because I'm more lenient towards the weekend. I have my hardest training sessions around then, and I try and train it. Basically, it's utilizing the glucose and utilizing the glycogen stores that you'll have from your cheat when you've gone off plan, particularly sugar overload, because your body can use it for fuel. Have your hardest training sessions around that. So I train legs, or I'll do a CrossFit or something that just knocks me for 6, because your body's going to utilize those calories and carbohydrates. Okay, we'll try a couple of more. I don't want to run too long on this. Nutrition for eating out. Again, this is I have a client recently who eats out 2, 3, 4 times a week. You can eat out well. I go for dinner every week with my mum. And you can eat out well. Generally, you just have to opt for the healthier options. A baked salmon, grilled steak, vegetables with sauce and stuff on the side, baked potatoes. All of these are healthy options that you can get. The thing to be mindful of in restaurants is sauces. If you get all your sauces on the side, you're going to put less on yourself, but there's a lot of stuff hidden into the sauces, extra calories and things that you wouldn't think. Even things like Caesar salad can come to 700 calories if it's got a high, thick, fat sauce. So be mindful of that. But again, opting for oven-baked stuff, grilled food, fish, baked potatoes, vegetables, things like this, they're all great options. There's no reason you can't eat out and still have a really good and lean physique. If anything, it'll fit right in, as long as you're making the healthy choices. As I said, I go out at least once a week. I meet my mum or my dad and we go for dinner just to catch up. And I always opt for a grilled steak or an oven baked salmon with some vegetables and a baked potato. And it varies place to place, obviously. All right, we'll do one more question. Intermittent fasting. I've tried intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, for anyone that doesn't know, is basically where there's a few different versions of this. There's micro fasting, but the intermittent fast that I'm familiar with is where you fast all through the morning and then have one large meal at night. The minimum fat, maximum muscle book is all about intermittent fasting, so I have a good knowledge on this. I understand it. The reason you'd intermittent fast and go a long period of the day without eating is because you'll stimulate your natural growth hormone and the natural anabolic and steroidal hormones in your body that'll promote muscle gain and fat loss. I've tried it, hated it. It didn't work for me. I'm very aware my body's so hardwired into eating every 2.5, 3 hours. And I also know the benefit of eating every 2.5, 3 hours in terms of metabolic function, energy, and all of the other good things that happen with it, that I struggle even mentally to switch into intermittent fast. And that means that I did try it. And it does work. You'll eat less because you're only eating one meal. And if you're keeping to like, as in intermittent fast, if you're keeping to like vegetables and lean fish and lean meat in your main meals, of course you're going to lose body fat on it because you're only eating once and you're eating a really good meal. It's a large meal, but you're eating a really good meal. I didn't feel good in it. My energy was down. My workout suffered. And I found that I was relying a lot on coffee just to get through the day, just to keep my energy up. So personally, I didn't like it. Not to say it doesn't work. I'm sure it works amazing for some people. I have a ferocious appetite. I have to hold back on eating because I have a massive appetite. So I struggle with intermittent fasting because it was one meal. If you're someone that doesn't really eat that much, and you're supplementing good during the day, I actually prefer micro fasting where you're taking on branched chains and omega-3s and stuff through the day as opposed to going all day and then waiting and taking it all at once. But again, it didn't work for me. Not to say it's not good, but it didn't work for me. So I hope this video helps. I've got a couple of spaces left in the project transformation. That's starting next week. It's Tuesday today. So starting next Tuesday, it's 5 spaces left. With everything included: gym membership, nutrition plan, training program, classes with me, open gyms with me, and then conversing with me for the 5 weeks to get you set up for the next 5 months. So if you're interested in that, check out the information. It should be on my page. And hopefully this Q&A helped. And thanks again, everyone, for messaging. And my book will be out in October in Eason's, and I will be doing book signings for the whole month of October and November.